Hello and welcome back to another quick review. I thought I would shake things around a bit and choose a horror book for Halloween. So unique, right? So today's book is almost unanimously appreciated by fans of the genre, Kill Creek. I read so many positive reviews about it. There were people raving about how good it is, how scary it is. Oh my god, it does so many new things that have never been explored before in horror tropes or blah blah blah. And it felt a bit unreal to me. No book can have all positive reviews and gung ho readers. Where were all the haters at? Right here. The plot is quite simple. Four horror authors are called to a famous real life haunted house for an interview on Halloween night. Spooky! The Kill Creek house has been a center of suspected paranormal deaths for a lot of years. The last residents, sisters Rebecca and Rachel, teamed up with a paranormal psychologist to write a book about the hauntings of this mansion. Most of the world, including our four main authors, are sure this book is full of crap because there's no such thing like haunted houses. They only exist in the stories that we write. Right? Now, the authors are of all different subgenres of horror. We have Sam, the main character, who writes popular horror novels. Then we have Daniel Slaughter, who writes Christian, God, demon horrors. Then we have Sebastian Cole, who's like an ancient relic and doesn't write anymore, but he used to write, very traditional horrors. And then we have T.C. Moore, who writes about sex. That's all you need to know about her. The writing is vivid, which is about the only positive thing that I can think about this book, but then the vivid writing is so disturbing at some points, which is not a good disturbing in which, oh, the horror book was so disturbing. No, it's disturbing because why would the author write it this way disturbing? The plot twist was a nice touch. I mean, yeah, I get it. It just turns everything upside down. But then I don't want to sing any praises of this book because I hated that the author self-inserted so much of himself into the book. Because what happens then is everything that the reader sees is through his POV. Even the female character's POV is how the male author basically sees her. Which is pretty badly, by the way. Despite giving her an extremely tragic backstory, she's written extremely unsympathetically. All the male characters are given a bucket full of empathy, and I'm going to give out spoilers that Sam and Daniel do some pretty terrible things in this book, but they still get so much more empathy than T.C. Moore. Daniel gets fat shamed because fuck the fat guy, right? All his description and his chapters are about describing how disgusting his fat is. Then the woman is boiled down to her breasts and her legs, which is so stereotypically slasher-esque horror. Like, even when there's no need for it, there'll be a woman in a red bikini just running down the corridor so that the men can be titillated. Even when she's alone in a room and there's no one to see her, even then the descriptions about her body are like as if someone was seeing her. But of course there's someone seeing her. Our author is there. He is looking at her like a pervy voyeur and making us complicit in his act. Now, the middle-aged white male author who is quite horrible. No, I'm not talking about the real author of this book. I'm talking about the character Sam, who's quite horrible. He's given so much empathy, and the author is like literally begging you to like him. That see the sad little guy. Feel sorry for him. Why don't you feel sorry for him? Another faulty trope in this book was kill your minority. There are two black female characters in this book of like so many characters. The first one is killed off before the events of this book take place. The second one is killed off first. And of course, there are a lot of deaths in this book because it's a horror book after all. But then the first death to occur is the black woman who we know that likes to take photographs and what color bra she wears. That's all we know about her. Oh yeah, and also she describes her white boyfriend's banking abilities to random strangers. So that's also there. This book really felt like a horror movie. It is written in a way that, the author thought will get made into a movie someday. So, why not just write it like a movie? So it just has all the stereotypes of like very middle grade or horror movie, like kill your gays, kill your blacks, kill your minorities. All the women are so problematic except one who doesn't even matter to the plot. They are either all abused or they're either all abusers. They're just binary stereotypes, good and evil. That's this like bitchy and victim. There's just no third way about it. The book has very clear Stephen King aspirations, and the book dared to take a dig at the seminal haunted house story, Haunting of Hill House, by Shirley Jackson. The opening line is a clear and direct dig at that phenomenal story. So yeah, the opening itself was enough to show me that okay, this author is pretty ballsy. I would not deny that the story itself is quite interesting. There are many atmospheric descriptions that, add to the horror and the spookiness. So if the story was written, it suddenly got cloudy. If the story was written without the misogynistically, it's getting cloudier by the moment. If there was another version of this book where Moore was not so stereotypically misogynistically written, or there was not so much fat shaming of the fat guy, I might have even given it 4 stars because the story was commendable, I think. But the big reveal of Sam's backstory is so predictable, it's not even funny. Like, you know it by the fourth chapter that, the reveal at the end is something that any reader who is well adapted to the genre will know by the fourth chapter, but then it's a big reveal. So this is the best I could manage without spoiling the book. So I'll have another video which will be a spoiler version of the Kill Creek review. So if you are into rants, maybe look out for that. For now, do let me know down below if you read this book and if you liked it or if you disagree with me. Give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down because we still live in a democracy, at least so far. We don't know about the future. Have a nice day, and if you live in one of the countries where Halloween is celebrated, then happy Halloween, and like, share, subscribe, the usual, or follow me on Instagram and Goodreads, and I'll see you next time.